Let's cross to Jerusalem. Let's bring in Sami Sockol, our correspondent. Sami, a lot of people watching France 24, a lot of people understanding that the resolution has been agreed on, will want to know what that means in Gaza, what that potentially could mean for Israeli troops in the territory too.
I think the big question will be is the way Israel will take this decision. In the beginning of the campaign in the Gaza Strip, Israeli politicians made it clear that part of the ways that they're pressuring Hamas is through the entrance of humanitarian aid. And we've heard time and again that Hamas will not surrender unless it will feel that kind of pressure and that it will also feel the pressure from the people of Gaza. So there was the idea here that the people in Gaza will revolt against the Hamas leadership because of the appalling conditions in which we've seen them. Now, this has not happened so far, and instead we've seen American pressure to enable trucks to go into the Gaza Strip. Many in the Israeli establishment did not like this kind of direction. But nevertheless, they have adhered to this American pressure. And the question is whether these trucks and whether this distribution will reach the northern part. So far, Israel is continuing its campaign on the ground.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's very little detail as to how this resolution becomes detail that is workable on the ground, to which is still being negotiated as we see it. Now, the other thing, Sami, is any sense of a winding down of operations. It seems in contrast, we're hearing reports of intensified operations from the IDF through the night. What can you bring us about that?
Okay, so the campaign is continuing, both from the air, from the sea, and shelling of artillery. There was an attack in Nuseirat, which is in the central area of the Gaza Strip. This is still one of the areas that Israel is going to continue operating. But what Israel is facing now is, and what it is realizing, is that in the areas that it already occupied, like in the city of Gaza, Jabalia, Shujaiya, in those areas, it's facing a guerrilla warfare launched by small Hamas cells. So even if it says that it succeeded in breaking the chain of command, they're seeing this kind of long-term war of attrition. And now they're talking about regrouping and redeployment of the forces in the Gaza Strip, entering what the military is talking about is phase 3. We don't know when this will actually begin, probably sometime in January. That is the expectation. And this will mean that Israel will create a buffer zone, which will be maybe a kilometer or more along inside the Gaza Strip. This means that at least 100,000 Palestinians, if not more, will not be able to go back to their homes because this will be taken by the Israeli military. And this is also an area which is agricultural land. And one of the reasons Israel is going in this direction is because of the high cost of hundreds of thousands of reserve duty soldiers for its economy. And this is something that is not sustainable on the long run. And it's looking for ways to reduce the presence in Gaza.
Sami, good to talk to you. Interesting on phase 3, potentially beginning in January. Sami Sockol, Jerusalem-based journalist.